Hey everyone, welcome back to Dubious Engineering. We're going to brew some beer. Okay, this is a kit beer. It's relatively easy to do. The key thing is the satisfaction you get out of doing this and the cost of the beer. So I got this kit for 40 quid. Came with the bucket and all the bits and pieces, pretty much all the bits and pieces that you need apart from being able to store the beer. But I've got a solution for that. Here's the key ingredient, and on the bottom of this Marmite bag here is a little yeast bag. So first things first, we need to clean and sanitize everything that we've got here, and then what we've got to do is warm this goop up, dissolve about 1 kilogram of sugar in water in here, and then put this malt extract here into the water, get everything filled up to about 23 litres, leave it in a warm room temperature sort of place, about 20 to 25 degrees centigrade, and then after that we can look at bottling it. Let's get on with the job then. So let's just go ahead and have a look inside the bucket. What do you get? It gets you the malt extract there, and on the bottom of that malt extract is a little sachet of yeast. You also get a toilet brush. Sorry, that's a bottle brush. You also get a stirring spoon. You get a siphon. You get 1 kilogram of brewing sugar. You get a hydrometer. I've always wanted one of these. You also get a little gas trap, and what this does with a little bit of water in it, about half full of water, it allows fermentation gases to escape, but doesn't allow anything to come back in and pollute the beer. And this is a little measuring device which gives you the ability to be able to measure out the appropriate amount of sugar, priming sugar, for the bottling process a little bit later on. And a bung for the gas trap, some sanitizing or sterilizing powder, and you also get a little colour strip thermometer. Let's go ahead and stick this little thermometer on the side of the bucket. So self-adhesive, put it about halfway down the bucket there. It's nice and warm today, as you can see. It's about 22-24 degrees outside. Key thing, when you're doing a sterilisation, don't use a scouring pad. Use something nice and soft like a sponge, because with a scouring pad what that'll do, it'll make little lines inside the bucket, and those little score marks will harbour nasty bacteria which will cause you problems in the future. Get about, I don't know, half of that packet in here and chuck everything, pretty much everything that you want to clean in there. So that's the bung that's just gone in. Another key thing, don't forget to give the lid a bit of a wash down as well. Should probably wear gloves doing this actually, because the chemicals can be a little bit irritant. This is also a good time to check your bucket for leaks and get thoroughly into all of this lot. Get into every little nook and cranny with that sponge. Once you've got that all sanitized, go ahead and give everything a really good few rinse outs. Let's get some water in here then. The next part of the mission is to dissolve this sugar here in with some warm water. Using our spoon, we can now make sure that is all thoroughly mixed. If you are going to use a hose pipe, careful that the dirty side of the hose pipe doesn't drop anything in the container. I'm enjoying this. This is good fun. I'm going to enjoy it even more when I get to drink it. Let's just check our instructions then. So clean and sterilize all equipment. Remove yeast sachet underneath. Woohoo! There she be. Dissolve 1 kilogram of sugar. So that's all done. As you can see down here, it's a nice clear mixture now. There's no residual sugar powder. And now what we've got to do is pour the malt extract, which is in this bag here, into the bucket. And once we've done that, then we use some warm water to coax as much of the malt extract out of this bag as possible. There's a nice little lid and pull tab here. Interesting smell to it. Right. In you go. this is like the witch's cauldron here. Eye of newt. Wing of bat. That's starting to smell very malty. Just put some warm water in here, giving a bit of a shake around, and we'll get the Marmite out of here, or at least get more of the Marmite out of here. Oh, there she goes. I can feel that's just ever so slightly warm to the touch, and that's pretty much the way you want it. Get in there and give this a really, really good mix. Once you've mixed this thoroughly, go ahead and top it up with some tap water. Can't wait, guys. Gonna have beer to drink. One thing we can see here then is the temperature is currently 24, 26, so around 25 degrees. You can also see here about 22.5 litres. Now, I'm just going to give this one last stir. Okay, we're done with the spoon. And now, just sprinkle some yeast on the top. Like that. And as we can see, the yeast is just very slowly starting to fall down as it's absorbing some of the moisture and starting to fall down towards the bottom. It's like a little vortex of beautiful stars twirling around in there. Ooh, this is going to be nice. Lid's on. Make sure it's properly sealed. And now we've got to install the one-way valve for the gas. So a little bit of water in it like that, which will allow the gas to pass, but it won't allow anything else to come back in. And the next part of the mission here then is to go ahead and install the rubber grommet. Just slide that in. And there she is. So now we've got to wait 10 days. Now the other thing that it occurred for me to do was to name it. And we'll call this Vicky number 1. And we're going to give it, we're going to put the date. So today is the 4th, the 5th, 2020. Well, clearly I'm quite excited about this. But here it is. So this is the first part of the process, which is fermentation. And it's not that hard really, just a lot of preparation, sanitizing, all that kind of mucking around. All we got to do now is put this somewhere safe and at the appropriate temperature, 20 to 25 degrees. Leave it there for 10 days, undisturbed. Check on it from time to time, make sure it's not leaking. And occasionally you might also hear a little bloop. After this, we get to decant it to another bottle. And then we wait for 2 weeks before we can drink it. I'm quite looking forward to tasting this stuff. Yeah, Pete, so I've decided to move the location of the fermenting tub because I've ran a few tests in the house. Let me show you. This thing's bubbling away nicely. Anyway, so if we check the temperature of this is currently, it says at about 22. So let's just confirm that. And yes, indeed, it says 21.8. And the temperature of the floor in here is about 18 or so. And it warms up slightly when the sun comes through the window. So here's the deal downstairs in the kitchen. If we check this, we can see we're about 15, 16 degrees. So significantly cooler. And then where we originally put it, which was in the lounge, is 14 degrees. So it makes a lot more sense that it lives upstairs in that warm room. The brew here has been fermenting for 8 days now, and she's stopped bubbling pretty much. So I think she's ready. We're just going to go ahead and pop this straight in the bucket. We're going to make sure everything's sanitized. And as soon as we've done that, then we should be able to get a reading on Vicky number 1. So if the reading drops into this yellow section here at the very top, we then know that the beer is complete. The hydrometer has been thoroughly sanitized. What you do is you pop it into the brew and you give it a gentle spin, and then you wait for it to settle, and look at that, beautifully in the yellow, just about. Yep, okay, excellent news. Let's go ahead and decant this to a pressure barrel. Now we have to prepare for the secondary fermentation process. This requires 85 grams of sugar, and what I'm using is icing sugar. And in the background you can probably hear I'm boiling the kettle in order to turn this into a solution. Prepare this solution. So this is the beer barrel, or the pressure vessel, the keg, and what it has is a little pressured cap which gives you the ability to be able to inject CO2 if you like. I'm just going to go ahead and pour a bit of sterilising powder in there, mix some water, give it a really good shake, and then what I'll do is just boil this cap here, because the sterilising powder tends to make a little bit of a mess of the metal work in here. The other thing to do is just pop a little bit of Vaseline around some of the seals. And then we can siphon, once this is clean, everything into it. And some of the other things that we need to sterilise then: the siphon pump, the spoon, the sponge, and the barrel and bottle wash cleaner. So I've got my siphon and spoon prepared, my beer, my sugar for the secondary fermentation, and I'm in the process of sanitizing the barrel. So once you're happy that your barrel has had a really good sanitary session, then make sure you give it a thorough rinse out. If you have a siphon like mine, you can extend it like that. I forgot to video that bit, my apologies. But yeah, add your extra sugar to your brew. Give everything a good stir. Get everything active again. Leave that to siphon into this bucket. This bucket has to be lower than this bucket in order for the siphon to work. And in fact, we may have to drop it even lower. But give that some time, and eventually all of that should go into the pressure vessel. Also, as an experiment, I'm going to put some in a Coke bottle and leave it in the shed for a little while. So I'm going to make sure I leave a little bit of space at the top here, so that things don't explode when it starts producing more CO2 again. Doesn't look particularly nice, but I think once that's settled, that should be pretty good. To sanitize this, I've put a combination of bleach, household bleach, not fragranced, just cheap household bleach, and a little bit of distilled white vinegar. Apparently that makes chlorine, so that does the trick. You shouldn't have to buy all of these sanitizing products, apparently. So we'll give this a go next run around. I'm going to dilute this down a little bit and get in there and give it a good clean out. So this is the beer in the Coke bottle. And here's the key thing I wanted to show you. That's relatively easy to push in right now. This has been sitting in the kitchen for quite a while. It's about 19 degrees. It's time to release a little pressure. Let's see, is this pressurized? It should be fine. Whoa, yep, okay, that's got some pressure to it. Happy days. Right, let's let's go for the bottle. Remember the bottle? Let's grab that. This is clearly the best bit about brewing your own beer. You get to enjoy tasting the fruits of your labours. So here we have a bottle that I put in the refrigerator today, and remember before when you squeezed the bottle it was quite compliant. Well, now it's absolutely solid and it's quite clear. I don't know if you can see that, but it's reasonably clear. It's not too misty. A lot of the mist has settled down to the bottom there, and we've got a bit of sediment in the bottom of the bottle. Okay, so I'm going to be very careful not to shake this bottle up. Let's go ahead and release the pressure and then pour ourselves our very first drink. Oops, okay. Less pressure than I was expecting, but a few bubbles rising up there towards the top. Okay, and I want to try to minimize the amount of sediment that we disturb. Oh wow, that's coming out. It's looking beautiful. That is looking magnificent. Right, that's going to have to go back in the fridge, I think. Oh, it's gassy, it's frothy, it's clear. The outside of the glass has got a little mist on it now because it's a cool glass. Now clearly this is not Timothy Taylor's, this is Howard's beer. But it was LME, so it's a liquid malt extract and brewer's sugar. Let's give it a taste. That is looking absolutely magnificent. Cheers guys and girls. Let's see what she tastes like. Well, I tell you what, you can't moan. You really can't moan. I would be happy to be served that in the pub. Doesn't taste bad at all. How can I describe it? Well, it's not sweet, it's slightly bitter as it should be. It's not fruity. It's not hoppy, and I didn't want it to be hoppy, so I'm happy it's not hoppy. I'm happy it's not hoppy. This is awesome. This tastes very pleasant indeed. I'm actually really quite surprised. Oh, man, that's good. That is good. That is very pleasant. I'm happy, dead happy. Epic, epic. Don't forget, give us a good old thumbs up. Make sure you've subscribed if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next video. Perhaps go check out some of our other mad crazy videos. Take care, thanks for watching. Bye for now.